being lied to, and I think you should know about it. The large majority of you probably follow me because you saw me on a reality show on Discovery, who owns TLC, called Welcome to Plathville, and I no longer want to be a part of that show largely because of the behavior of other cast members on that show. Also because I have found and know TLC to be a completely unethical network, and not only are they covering up abuse, they're also lying to you about their values and what they stand for. And when I say this, the most common thing I hear is, Olivia, we all know these big networks and corporations aren't ethical. So? Does that mean they get a pass? Like, just because we know that big corporations take advantage of people and don't have good ethics and values because they'd rather have the money, does that mean they just get a pass? I don't think so. You can decide that this doesn't matter to you, but I'm still going to share it because I think that it matters, and I think that there are people who would also want to know about this who may not be informed. So yeah, let's buckle in. If I were to go through everything that happened between me and my ex and his family, the things that I believe were abuse or wrong, I could be here for days on end. So here's a couple of examples. And I sent a full report to TLC, including dates and people involved and exact quotes and things said, and it was all dismissed by them. They basically said to me, sorry you felt unsafe, should have called the cops, and then released a trailer featuring my abusive ex, being like, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not married to her anymore, and just completely rewriting history. Well, it's whatever, but here's a couple specific examples. My ex said that he wanted to shoot the people that he thought were making me more liberal. He named them by name. Included in this list of people were the executive producer on the show and the head of the camera department, because he thought that they were influencing me to be more liberal. Yeah, that was completely dismissed. TLC did not give a fuck. There was also other people on this list, my friends. I turned in a report showing and stating that he also was pretending to shoot black people on TV. I had a handgun that I wanted to turn into the police department in Minnesota. It's not registered. I bought it when I was a teenager and very deep in the cult mindset of like, Hillary Clinton's gonna turn the military on us. As an adult, I realized I did not want an unregistered handgun. I was trying to turn it in, and he kept stealing it from me because he wouldn't let me, because he said that was too woke. And he kept it loaded under the mattress of our bed, kept putting it there on multiple occasions. That's not safe. I don't want to sleep with a loaded gun under the mattress. And yeah, kept confiscating it, would not let me turn it into the police. I turned this report in about the Club Q, I think that's what it called, shooting back in the fall of 2022, I believe. It was a queer bar in Colorado Springs, and it was a hate crime committed against the LGBTQ plus community. And when he heard about it on the news, he said, good, it's about time someone did something about those people. I turned this in the report. TLC does not give a fuck. They dismissed all of it. However, do you know what their website says? I'm going to include a screenshot here of what their website says their values are, what they stand for, inclusivity. It's a lie. They don't. They keep giving people platforms who they know are fundamentalist, extremist, religious people, and it's all for the quirkiness of it. They've never had a Coke. But the reality is these people's beliefs deny the reality of the very viewers of the show. The people who watch the show, there are a large majority of them do not have the same beliefs, do not live the same lifestyle, and my ex would deny their reality and champion them being shot with a gun and made threats himself about a gun. All this was turned in the report. TLC does not care. This is their website with their values. They do not actually uphold those values. They're lying to you. It's all about money. I've been threatened that I could be sued if I said something. People have asked me, why did you stay in that contract for years then if you knew this? And first of all, this is a huge corporation that loves to threaten and make people feel like they have no options, and they did that to me for years. Second of all, people were saying, well, you signed the contract and you chose to be on the show. That's actually not the full story. So when the show started, first off, the pilot was shot of my wedding. I was not asked about this decision. My ex-mother-in-law negotiated it behind my back, asked them to come shoot my wedding as a pilot, and I found out 2 weeks beforehand and was told, oh, sorry, it's already happening, and I'm getting the check for it by her. Okay, so then moving on, after the pilot is shot that I had no control over at my wedding, then the show was presented on the table, and me and my ex said, absolutely not, we will not be on this show. And at that time, she was not allowing us to see his younger siblings, and that really hurt my ex. He grew up with no friends. The only people he knew were his siblings, and being cut off from them because he married me was really hard on him, and I felt really guilty. And so when she said, if you will agree to do this show, it's just one season. If you will agree to do this show, I will let you see his siblings. We talked about it. We caved. We said, okay. I was raised in a world where you say yes to authority, no matter what. And I was on my way out of that. I was figuring out how to stand up for myself, but it's so deeply ingrained when you're beat from the time you're little. If you don't jump and do everything that mom and dad say and everything an authority says, that's hard to get out of your head. So when it came to signing the contract for the show, my ex-mother-in-law presented it, and I said, I would like to take this home and read it before I sign this contract. And she said, oh, I already read it for you. I already know it. It's okay. It's totally fine. It just says blah, 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 but it's like not very binding. You can just sign it. I just need it today. And I said, no, I'd like to take it home and read it. And she was very certain and said, no, I need it right now. I need you to sign it right now. And I felt very bullied and pressured by her and my ex-father-in-law standing right there pressuring me to sign this contract. And the fight or flight in me, the good, submissive Christian girl kicked in, and I said, oh, okay. And I signed it thinking, okay, but I can get out of this, right? Because I was raised under a rock and didn't know shit about any of this. I firmly believe if you make a show capitalizing off of how people are naive and grew up under a rock and hidden from the world, then you should bend over backwards as a network to provide them legal counsel and make sure they're not taken advantage of, because you're making a show about how easy it is to take advantage of them, right? Ethics. Okay, so anyways, sign this contract, thinking I can probably get out of this and he'll get to see his siblings. It's going to be fine. 20 years old. Turns out this contract that she negotiated, I was the only non-paid cast member. Everyone else got paid because the check went to her. She got the lump sum, then she got to pay the kids out of what she got. I was the only person not included as a paid cast member. I was an extra, even though my wedding was the pilot for the show, and I was in every single episode and a main focus of that first season. And the network said that if Ethan and I said no, they wouldn't have the show, which is why she was desperate for us to say yes. So this network knew this. They took advantage of me. They did not pay me for that season, even though I was not a minor and I was not her child, and she never should have been able to negotiate for me and negotiate me out of being paid. Nonetheless, okay. I literally could talk all day about this because it's just, from the very conception of the show, it's been unethical. There's been so much abuse hidden. There's been actual lies said on air that the network knows that I could post about and they would know and have to take accountability for. And there's footage existing to show that it's a lie. They're currently still lying to you. They're promoting this family as a wholesome, Christian, nice family, and that's just so far from the truth with what's behind the scenes. They're allowing them to rewrite history on air, that I was the one that did XYZ, all these things, when it's actually been on air that that's not true. And they're telling you that they're an inclusive network. We have queer people on we have LGBTQ plus people on other shows. Yeah, you don't give a fuck about their human rights discovery. Because when my ex said that those people should be shot, and he championed that, which is a hate speech, which often escalates to hate crimes. He was pretending to shoot people on TV with a gun, black people, LGBTQ plus people, told me that he believed that they should be shot, said if he had a child that was gay, he would tell them to get the fuck off his lawn, never talk to him again, said that. Yeah, I have a video of it. And I've been sharing some of these videos over on TikTok because it's easier to share long form content on TikTok than it is Instagram. So if you want to see a little bit more behind the scenes, it's so much footage to listen to and sift through that I've not posted everything, because honestly it takes a toll on my mental health when I have to listen back to it and post it. But you guys should know who you're watching, who you're consuming, who the network is trying to paint as innocent and wholesome and a lighthearted, good family show when it's not. It's absolutely not. Behind the scenes, they're very hateful people, and my ex specifically, and I know one of the other younger kids, they talk openly about how much they don't believe the LGBTQ people should have rights. And my ex even said he thought they should die. And I turned all of this into the network in a report and was dismissed, and none of it was taken seriously. So I just feel the need to say that out loud because they're lying to you, especially when promoting this new season that's about to air. I'm only in it for like a split second. This is during the period of time where I was trying to figure out how to get out of my contract or what I wanted to do, and I've since asked to be released from my contract, which the network has given me grief over for no reason, because I'm not even in the show anymore. It's a power move. Yeah, and I'll probably get threatened because I'm sharing this, but I just think you guys should know you're being lied to. This is a super long video. I'm gonna go now. I will post some other things. Go over to TikTok if you want to see more long form content, and I'm going to share some more things on here. And all the